There comes a moment in life when your thoughts get louder than the world around you. They run circles in your mind, replaying the past, imagining the worst, dissecting every word, every silence, every possibility. And sometimes the noise becomes so heavy that even the quietest rooms feel overwhelming. I lived in that place for years, but everything changed the moment I discovered one simple Stoic insight. Everything is impermanent. Every thought, every emotion, every fear, temporary. That realization became the beginning of my freedom from overthinking. Today, I want to share the journey that helped me train my mind to stop spiraling into endless mental noise. Not by forcing myself to just stop thinking, but by learning how to understand my thoughts, guide them, and let go of what doesn't belong to me. If you've been trapped inside your head lately, stay with me. This may be the shift you've been waiting for. I used to believe that my overthinking meant I was intelligent, that I was being careful, analytical, responsible. But the truth hit me hard the day I came across Seneca's words. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. It felt like he was talking directly to me, calling out the countless hours I spent worrying about things that never actually happened. And in that moment, I realized something important. Thinking isn't the enemy. Overthinking is what happens when we don't know how to handle our thoughts. I began to notice that my mind wasn't just thinking. It was clinging to the past, clinging to fears, clinging to imagined outcomes. And that is where Stoicism introduced me to a life-changing concept, the skill of recognizing impermanence. This isn't just an idea, it's a discipline, a way of training the mind to remember that nothing, not feelings, not fears, not even thoughts, lasts forever. The moment I started truly understanding impermanence, something softened inside me. I began to see my thoughts the way the Stoics saw them, events of the mind, not commands of the soul. A thought appears, stays briefly, and fades. Suffering comes when we cling to it, believe it, or treat it as permanent. But when you learn to recognize impermanence, you stop drowning in every emotional wave. You let it rise, and then you let it pass. This realization became even stronger when I understood another Stoic truth. Pain is real. Suffering is optional. Pain is the moment something happens. Suffering is the story we tell ourselves afterwards. Pain is the event. Suffering is the interpretation. Pain is life. Suffering is imagination. I started noticing how much of my overthinking came from trying to rewrite the past or predict the future. It was as though my mind believed that if it could analyze things enough times, it could somehow change the outcome. But the Stoics remind us, you can't control the external world, only your perception of it. And when you stop trying to control what never belonged to you, your mind finally exhales. Journaling became the practice that grounded me. I didn't use it to vent. I used it to observe, to see my thoughts without being swept away by them. I wrote down events as they happened, not as my anxious mind described them. This is when I started truly witnessing the difference between reality and imagination, between facts and the stories I layered on top. And I began to see that most of my suffering came from believing the stories, not the reality beneath them. The more I trained my awareness, the more I began to experience what the Stoics call inner stillness. Not the absence of thoughts, but the ability to watch them without reacting impulsively. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily, reminding himself that the mind becomes strong when we guide it, not when we obey it. Overthinking always tried to drag me back into the fog, convincing me that I needed absolute certainty. But Stoicism teaches us something liberating. Certainty is an illusion. The future is unknown. People's intentions are unknown. Life's twists are unknown. Trying to think your way into safety is like trying to stop the ocean with your hands. But impermanence offers a different kind of safety. The safety that comes from understanding that everything moves, everything shifts, everything changes. When an anxious thought appears, impermanence whispers, "This too will pass." When fear rises like a storm, impermanence says, storms never stay. When disappointment hits, impermanence reminds you, you will heal. Life becomes lighter when you stop gripping everything so tightly. I also had to confront one of my biggest challenges, the illusion of control. I realized that most of my overthinking came from trying to mentally control things I had no actual influence over. Other people's actions, outcomes, timing, opinions. The future Marcus Aurelius drew a sharp line between what is ours and what is not. And the moment I began practicing that, my mind quieted. What belongs to me? My actions, my choices, my mindset, what doesn't? Everything else, and everything in that second category. I learned to release. As my mind became clearer, I noticed something powerful. The more I acted, the less I overthought. Overthinking is the mind's way of avoiding discomfort. Action is the antidote. When I caught myself looping the same worry, I moved, even if just a small step, and each step reminded me, clarity doesn't come from thinking more. It comes from doing something real. Slowly, I built a mind that wasn't constantly fighting itself. A mind that understood life's movement, life's seasons, life's impermanence. A mind that knew thoughts aren't final. A mind that could feel pain without becoming pain. A mind that understood suffering is something we unconsciously choose, and peace is something we consciously build. Overthinking fades when you train your mind to see thoughts as passing clouds, not permanent truths. When you stop clinging to the past, stop fearing the future, and learn to stand in the present moment where life actually happens, impermanence teaches you that nothing you feel today is your forever. It frees you from holding on to what hurts and fearing the changes that are meant to shape you. This is the heart of Stoic peace, to be able to say, I feel this, but this will pass. To face reality honestly, but without unnecessary suffering, to release what you cannot control. To act where you can, to let your thoughts move like wind instead of chains. Your mind can be your enemy or your greatest ally. Train it wisely, and the world loses its power to disturb you. If this message resonated with you, do 3 simple things before you go. First, subscribe to the Stoic Life. It's how you build the daily habit of protecting your peace and growing in wisdom. Second, like this video so that others who need this reminder can discover it too. And third, write what your takeaway is from this video in the comments that tells me you stayed until the end and that you're serious about walking this path of strength. Before you leave, pick one of the videos on the screen. It might not just change how you think, but how you choose to live, and above all, stay disciplined, stay aware, and stay free.